guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm Erin. It is the end of August when I'm sitting down filming this video, so we are going to do a September money reset. I'm going to walk you through my entire kind of like end of month money reset routine. End of every single month, I like to sit down for 20 to 30 minutes just to kind of like check in with my money. If you've been following me or if you've watched my weekly money reset routine that I just posted a couple of weeks ago, you know that every single week I have my sort of like weekly money routine. I check in with my money on a weekly basis, but then at the end of the month, I sort of like to like wrap everything up and just check in with where I'm at. So that is what we're going to be doing in today's video. We're going to check in with how much money I spent in August. We're going to create a budget for the month of September. We're going to check in with my accounts, pay off my credit card, and at the end do a little like financial goals update since we are getting close to the end of the year. I'm super excited to check in with my money today. Doing this monthly routine always makes me feel better. Checking in with my money, making sure I know exactly where my money's going. It does honestly relieve a lot of financial anxiety for me. So I'm excited to go through it. I'm excited to bring you guys along with me. So let's get into it. The first part of this monthly reset routine is going to be reviewing my August spending. It's the end of August when I'm filming this video, so I'm going to be reviewing all of my August spending. We're going to take that information and use it to kind of like build my September budget. If you've never watched any of my videos before, this is my budget template, and these are the monthly tabs in the template. These are the tabs where we're logging all of our spending throughout the month, and then this tab down here, the monthly budget planner tab, this is the tab where we're building our budget. So in this tab, we've kind of like built our framework for our budget, and then throughout the month, we come in here, we log all of our transactions, and then we're able to see what we budgeted versus what we actually spent throughout the month. I did come in here before I filmed this video, and I just made sure that all of my transactions were actually logged in this transactions log. I do this on a weekly basis, but then at the end of the month, I just like quickly review everything to make sure that I got all of my transactions in there, especially like for the last couple of days. So all of my transactions are correctly marked, at least for my income and for my expenses, and then we'll talk about how I do kind of like my savings and my investments and all of that. Let's start by reviewing all of our expenses. So again, what I budgeted for and then what I actually spent in the needs and the wants columns of my budget. Computer is like over here, so if I'm looking this way, I'm looking at my computer. And the needs summary over here, I budget $2,300 a month for my rent, and this is the correct amount, but since this is my first full month, for some reason my rent was only $2,150. So that's how much I actually spent in rent this month. I have an entire video on my YouTube channel breaking down like my cost of rent. I have an apartment tour on my channel, all of that if you're interested in seeing what $2,300 a month gets me living in Nashville. My utilities, this is my first month paying utilities in my new apartment, so I did budget $200 a month because I really didn't know what to expect. But $139 was just my electric and then also my Wi-Fi. Electric and Wi-Fi are the only two things that I have to pay for this apartment, so I have those bundled it under utilities. Groceries, I actually came in under budget, which is surprising. I almost never do that. I was traveling for 5 days this month, so that kind of helped. And then this week is the last week of the month, and I'm traveling this upcoming weekend, so I didn't really get groceries this week. Gas, I really need to change this because I never hit $150 a month. This month, I probably filled my tank up twice for $64. Pay the same amount in pet insurance every month. I should just change this budgeted amount to $87 because that's what it comes to. Renter's insurance is $24. Car insurance, I still need to change my car insurance to Tennessee, and when I do that, I will be paying it monthly, but I already paid the last 6 months, so in the next couple of months, I'll change it to paying it monthly, but for now, it's $0 because I already paid it. Miscellaneous expenses was $192, and I believe that was when I rented a car in Pittsburgh. Oh, miscellaneous expenses, yeah, a car rental for $192 when I was traveling earlier this month. Moving on to the want summary, I came in under budget for food and drinks, which also really never happens, but I also increased this budget to $500, so it's not really that impressive. I increased my food and drink budget because I just moved to Nashville and I want to be able to like go out and try new restaurants and meet new people, and a lot of times that does happen at restaurants. I did increase that budget and I'm fine with that. I will say I am limiting alcohol right now because I'm doing 75 soft, so I think it's September. I'm going to try to force myself to stick to a little bit of a smaller food and drink budget. If I'm not drinking, $300 would be totally fine. Shopping, I came in over budget at 123% or $616 shopping. I really like this transactions log because it lets you come down here and kind of like see exactly why you went over your budget. Let's see some of the big ones here. $51 at Fashion Pass. I like kept one of the items. Fashion Pass is my clothing rental, and then if you rent the clothes and then you end up liking them, you can keep them. So I did that for $51. $29 at Target, $27 on a dress at American Eagle, $102 at Target. This wasn't like clothes. I think this was just a bunch of like miscellaneous stuff, so I did categorize it under shopping. $48 at a boutique in Nashville, $137 at Zara this weekend. So not my best. Oh, and then I also bought my friend a birthday present for $91, so that didn't help either. Fitness, I spent $223 this month. I do pay for a gym membership for $100 a month and class pass for $69 a month, but then my gym that I have a membership to also has like a $50 annual like service fee or something, so that hit this month as well, which brought it to $223. Household and pet was $213. This was all pet related expenses between dog food, and then I also got Bella groomed. Miscellaneous once was $179, and if we come over here, I think a lot of this was like Ubers and parking. When I was in Pittsburgh, I spent a lot of money parking because the guy that I'm seeing, he lives downtown and there's a parking garage in his complex, but it's really expensive to park there. So a lot of that. And then subscriptions is pretty typical. That is $47 a month. Okay, now that my income and my expenses are all populated into this template, the second half of this is me taking my monthly distribution and then deciding what I want to do with that money. You can see that here in the income summary. I have salary, but then I also have distribution. So I am totally self-employed and I pay myself the exact same salary every single month, which is this amount. That hits my account at the beginning of the month, but then at the end of the month, I always take what's called a monthly distribution, which is essentially just taking money from my business account to my personal account. I always do this at the end of the month, basically just to like, again, see how much I spent throughout the month, see what my account balances look like, and then take the distribution and then decide what I want to do with it. I have $3,000 here as the amount that I typically take for my monthly distribution. But if I have like a high revenue month in my business, maybe I'll take a little bit more. Or if I have like a super high expense month, maybe I'll take a little bit more. It really just depends. This month, I think I am just going to take the $3,000. I'm not going to do anything additional. So I'll come down here and income, distribution, $3,000, and essentially what I'll do on the back end is I'll log into my business bank account. I will transfer the money from my business account to my personal account and in the amount of $3,000. That brings my total monthly income to $7,600, and right here I can see sort of like how much I have left over after all of my expenses hit. So I have like right under $2,900 left. Over here in my savings and my investing goals, you can see what like my goals are for my savings and my investments. This $1,500 is the sum of all of my sinking funds. So it's my goal to save $500 a month for a home down payment, $300 a month for vacations, $300 a month for fun money, $200 a month for my pet fund, $200 a month for holidays. I have all $1,500 of these savings goals automated. So these are going into the correct accounts every single month, like automatically. I don't have to remember to actually do it. So what this looks like is for these 4 sinking funds, I have buckets in my high yield savings account and my SoFi high yield savings account for each of these sinking funds. And I have them set up automatically so that every single time I get a direct deposit, which is once a month, that money is automatically routed from my SoFi checking to my SoFi savings accounts. And I have little vaults set up within that savings account to route for things like vacations, fun money, pet fund, holidays, etc. So that is all automated, so I can log those in the transactions log. And then that leaves me with $1,396. I don't have my investments automated because I do like to see how much money I have left over and then do it. $1,000 is sort of like my investment minimum. I definitely don't want to invest less than this on a monthly basis, but if I have more money at the end of the month, like if I took a higher monthly distribution or if I didn't spend as much one month, then I could do more than that. So I am going to invest $1,300 a month. I'm going to log into my Charles Schwab account. This is where I have my brokerage account. And then from there, it's just about transferring the money from my checking account into my Charles Schwab account and actually placing the investment. Invest in ETFs inside of my brokerage account, a total US stock market ETF and a total world stock market ETF. On a monthly basis, I'll either do like a little bit of each or just pick one for that month. And then the next piece of this monthly reset routine is going to be resetting my budget for the month of September. I don't completely start from scratch and make an entire new budget every single month. I think that's kind of a waste of time. Most things do stay relatively the same, but I like to go through this once a month and just kind of like check in and make sure everything's still applicable. I also like to spend a few minutes prior to setting up my budget, just kind of like reviewing what I have coming up next month, just to make sure I don't like have any surprises and can kind of like make a plan for all of the things that I do think I'm going to be spending my money on. So that is what we're going to do first. We're going to go through my calendar for the month of September and see what I have coming up and see what I'm going to have to budget for. This is my Notion planner. This is also available for download if you like to use Notion to organize like your planners and calendars like I do. I'll link that in the description of this video as well. But I'm gonna come down here and go to this master calendar, and we're gonna start filling this out for the month of September. On September 2nd, I'm going to be flying home from a trip, so flight to Nashville. On the 25th, I am driving up to Pittsburgh. I'm gonna be in Pittsburgh for 10 days at the end of September. So that is something that I'm gonna factor into my budget as well. I am driving, so I don't like have to book a flight or anything, and my family and a lot of my friends live up in Pittsburgh, so I don't have to buy a hotel or anything like that. So it's really not going to be like super expensive, but I'm sure I'm gonna be doing a lot when I'm up there, but I will be with the guy that I'm seeing, so realistically I probably won't spend that much money. I know I have an event on the 6th. In Pittsburgh, we're going to this podcast live event. Some of my friends and I are going, but we already got the tickets, so I won't have to spend any money there. And then the weekend of the 14th and 15th, I'm actually doing a campaign with a brand that is going to be like flying me somewhere for the weekend. So that's gonna save me a lot of money, because since I'll be like working throughout the weekend, I won't be spending any money that weekend. So can't exactly say what the campaign is, but I will be working this weekend, so that actually will probably save me a lot of money. I actually think those are the only things that I like for sure know of going on this month. This shouldn't be like that crazy of a month, and looking at my weekends again, like I'm really not going to spend any money here because I'll be working all weekend, and then when I'm in Pittsburgh, I really don't expect to be spending like that much money. So I do kind of want this to be like a relatively low spend weekend, with that being said. But again, we can build my budget based off of this. The only things that I'm going to change on here, utilities, I'm gonna bring this down to $150. And then car insurance, I'm gonna bring this to $0, because I paid it for an entire 6 months and that doesn't end for a couple of months, so I don't need to pay my car insurance for the next couple of months. Groceries, I'm gonna bring this down to $350, just because it's a shorter month and I'm gonna be in Pittsburgh for a couple of days. I feel like I shouldn't spend that much on groceries this month. And then food and drinks and shopping. Food and drinks, I'm gonna bring this down to $300. I really should not be spending more than that on restaurants and going out to eat this month, especially because I'm not drinking. And then shopping, I haven't talked about this on here yet, but I'm gonna make an entire dedicated video, but I'm actually working with a stylist this month, which I'm so excited about. I'm gonna be posting a ton of content about this, but this is something that I've wanted to do for literally years. I just honestly get so frustrated with, this sounds bad, but like dressing myself and building outfits, and I always feel like I never have anything to wear, even though I have a closet full of clothes. So I honestly feel like in the long run it's going to end up saving me money, because I think I'm going to be able to like buy things more intentionally and actually know what, like where the gaps are in my closet and what gaps I need to fill. So I think I'm going to bring my shopping budget down to, actually I'm going to keep it where it is, because kind of like my thought process with doing this is something that my fun money sinking fund is there for. My fun money sinking fund, again, I put money aside every single month for like kind of I don't want to say no reason, but I don't have like a very specific purpose for putting that money into that account. But the purpose of doing it is so that when something like this does come up, like I know that I want to work with a stylist, and this month we are going to be like curating my wardrobe, and with that spending money on the clothes, I already have that money sitting there, so I don't feel like I need to increase my shopping budget to like $2,000 this month or something totally absurd. I've already been saving that money in my fun money sinking fund. So I'm gonna leave the $500 shopping budget there, and then the rest of the money is going to come from my Fun Money sinking fund. Fitness again is $170 a month. This is new for as of the month of August because I did sign up for ClassPass, and ClassPass is $69 a month on top of my $100 a month gym membership. But I've just been feeling like my gym workouts have been kind of stale recently, and I like adding fitness classes in 1 or 2 times a week to be able to like just change things up, and I've been getting really good workouts doing that. So I'm really happy with that, and I don't want to cancel either of those. It's like a very happy splurge in my book, so I'm totally fine there. ClassPass has also been a really good like social thing for me. My friends and I have been going to workout classes together, and I've been loving that, being able to like go to a class, not really spend a ton of money because I have already paid for ClassPass, and then we'll go like grab coffee or something afterwards. That's just such a better use of my time than like always going out for drinks with my friends. And then last, for my September budget, I'm going to check in on the account balances of my sinking funds. My sinking funds are all of my different savings accounts that I'm saving for very specific savings goals like vacations. I said my Fun Money sinking fund. And since I plan on using some of the money out of my sinking funds this month, I'm going to check in and just like see how much money I have in there and all of that. I don't check these every single month. Like I said, it's automated, kind of like the process of money coming into them, money dispersing into all of the different sinking funds. So I really don't check it every single month. I just kind of like set it and forget it, which is good because then I'm not tempted to always be taking the money out. But when I do plan on taking money out of my sinking funds, I just come in here and I like check them really quick. So here I am in my SoFi dashboard. I typically use the app, but I'm already on my computer, so we're just gonna pull them up here. Under banking, this is where my sinking funds are at. You can see my current APY is 4.6%, so this is a high yield savings account. And here are my vaults. So these are like the individual sinking funds. SoFi calls them vaults. As you can see, I have 4 of them set up. So I'm just kind of like organizing my money and keeping track of what the money is there for. So I currently have $800 in my Fun Money sinking fund, and again, this is what I'm going to be using to buy a lot of the things that I am working with my stylist on. So I do plan on sort of like draining this account this month, which is totally fine with me. It's like something that I've been wanting to do for so long. I feel like $800 plus the $500 that I'm budgeting for shopping this month will be a really good amount of money to like get my money's worth out of working with this stylist. Holidays, I have $1,000 in here. This is what I'm saving for Christmas presents around the time of the holiday. Pet fund is $500, and I'm actually going to be using some of this money this weekend. It's the end of August right now, and I'm traveling this weekend, like I said, and I'm going to be spending $200 of this $500 on a pet sitter. And then travel, there's $800 in here. So the rest of the month, the last like couple of days of the month, again, I'm traveling, I'm leaving tomorrow. So all of the money that I spend over the next couple of days is actually going to be coming from this travel fund. I put $300 a month into this travel fund so that when I take trips and I'm like going out to eat a lot and doing all of those types of things, I again don't feel like I'm totally blowing my budget all in one weekend because I've saved that. Thing that we're going to be doing for this little September money reset routine is we're going to be checking in on my financial goals and talking through like what my financial goals are for the rest of the year. And how we're going to do this is by reviewing my net worth. I've been tracking my net worth in my SoFi account because it does let you like link all of your external bank accounts, which is really great. And then it shows you your entire net worth summary. So I've been absolutely loving that. But I feel like using my net worth as a benchmark is a good way to sort of like talk about my financial goals and what I'm trying to accomplish over the next couple of months. So here I am again in my SoFi dashboard, and my net worth is right here. So I will move myself out of the way and kind of talk through this. My net worth has crossed the $200,000 mark, which is so crazy to me. And if you've been watching my videos, you probably have been able to see this kind of like grow and grow over the last couple of years. When I graduated from college, my net worth was negative 15K, and obviously now it's over 200K. So it has been growing so rapidly. A lot of that does have to do with increasing my income, but then also just being diligent about hitting my financial goals and saving and investing a lot of the money that I am making. I absolutely love that SoFi added this net worth tracker into their app and into their dashboard because again, I was able to connect all of my accounts and now have like a really comprehensive picture of what my financial position looks like. And then obviously since my accounts are connected, it's able to change in real time. So as my investment portfolio is growing and then shrinking with like the changes in the market and all of that, you're able to really easily see it here. I just linked all of my accounts right before I filmed this video, which is why you could see this like humongous spike. But then over time, you'll be able to see kind of like the ebbs and flows and all of that. So as you can see, I'm holding about 40K in cash right now. My emergency fund is $30,000. That's the number that I personally feel comfortable with. And then the $9,000 is just like miscellaneous stuff here between my sinking funds and then my checking account. And then my investment portfolio is $165,000. Click into here and show you sort of like what this is made up of. My portfolio breakdown general is like non-retirement investments. That's 28%, and that's my brokerage account. And then my retirement is 72% of my investments. So my retirement portfolio is over $100,000, which I'm so happy about. I like to talk pretty openly about this on my channel because I think it's really inspiring, but then I also think that there's a lot of value in seeing how quickly things can start to snowball once you do get your money invested. Again, my net worth was negative 15K when I graduated from college, partly due because I had like student loans and stuff like that, whereas now I'm totally debt free. But I've been investing for 6 years, and especially over the last 3 years, I've really started to invest a lot heavier. But when your money is invested, it's not all of your contributions. Like, your money is starting to grow when the stock market is growing and all of that. So a lot of the lift is being like taken off of you. I continue to share, not to brag, but like hopefully to inspire you to start investing your money as early as possible. And in a couple of years, like, it can definitely grow. With all of this, let's chat about my financial goals for the rest of the year. A couple of months ago, I set the goal to have a $200,000 investment portfolio by the end of the year. And clearly my portfolio is only at 165 right now. So I still do have a long way to go. It's not doable. I think it's really just going to depend on how much I'm able to contribute to my retirement accounts by the end of the year. You saw in my budget that my goal is to invest $1,000 a month into my brokerage account, which would only give me another like $5,000. But that doesn't count my retirement investments. I'm self-employed, so I have a solo 401k, and I still do have a pretty good amount of money that I can invest into my solo 401k by the end of the year. So between my brokerage account investing, but then also my solo 401k investments, I don't know if I'm gonna hit 200K, but that is what we're sort of like working toward. And if I got another like 15 plus K invested, I would be really happy with that. On the savings side, when it comes to my financial goals, like I said, I do have a $30,000 emergency fund, and that's a very comfortable number for me. I'm not continuing to put more money into that emergency fund because it's already fully funded. Outside of just continuing to save for my sinking funds, I think my big savings goal right now is saving for a home down payment. This amount of cash right here does not include my home down payment savings. I think I said at the beginning of this video that I have my home down payment savings sitting in a full-year savings account. It's a first-time home buyer savings account. So I'm saving for my home down payment in there, which is good because it kind of has the money like separate and I'm not really thinking about it. I have roughly $13,000 sitting in my full-year savings account for a home down payment, and then I have it in my budget to save $500 a month toward that. I don't exactly know when I'm going to want to purchase a home, probably in the next like 2 to 3 years. I would say I really want to get a rental property, whether that be like a duplex that I can live in half of or just a straight up rental property, but that obviously takes a lot of cash down. So I do really want to ramp this up, and whenever I have extra money, putting it towards my home down payment savings as opposed to continuing to like throw it all into investments. So that's like sort of what I'm working towards right now, is really trying to strike that balance between investing my money, but then also keeping enough in savings to where when I do want to purchase a property, I have the money to do that. I think that brings us to the end of this monthly reset routine video. This was quick. I feel like some people make these videos and they're like 45 minutes long, but my monthly reset routine is honestly not that long, and I do think that's because of my weekly reset routine, or not even my reset routine, but just like my weekly money routine in general, which I did post a video not too long ago on my channel about my weekly money routine. And again, doing that every single week and really checking in with my money, making sure my numbers are updated and everything, that makes this monthly routine so much easier. I honestly didn't spend more than 30 minutes on this, so definitely go check that out. But I hope this was helpful just to kind of see again my process of looking at how much I spent in August, looking at what I have coming up in September, and then building my September budget and sort of like making a plan for my money based on that. It's really good for me to just like check in with all of my accounts on a monthly basis, make sure I'm paying off my credit cards. Just again, like checking in and making sure you know exactly what's going on with your money makes the world of a difference. If you have any questions for me or anything else you want me to cover on my channel, please leave them in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, it would mean so much to me if you liked and subscribed.